Continuing to look at the Pistons, though, now this newer shape Pistons, no Markieff, no Reggie, no Andre. You've got to look at what are the rotations going to be like. And okay, well, Bruce Brown now steps in as starting point guard. Well, officially, I should say, I don't know. Because Dwane Casey's coming out saying that the Pistons want to play Bruce as a shooting guard. They don't see him as a long-term point guard option. And what does that mean for Bruce Brown? What does that mean for Luke Kennard? What does that mean for the point guard spot here in Detroit? Is that them just saying, hey, we're open to maybe drafting a point guard come the draft? Or, maybe Bruce can play that spot, but they're not married to him there? Does that mean Bruce is losing his spot in the starting lineup altogether? Or is Luke losing his spot in the lineup altogether?
I just continue to lose faith in Dwane Casey by the day at this point. It's been with his rotations. It's been with him favoring guys that haven't had a ton of success on the court. Langston Galloway last year, Thon Maker this year. And this is just another one of those things that has me just shaking my head. Bruce Brown has come out this season and played so much better when he has been the point guard than when he has been the shooting guard. It's really not even close how much better Brown has looked leading, running the show, instead of playing off the ball. And it's just, to me, a terrible, terrible decision to switch Brown off of the point guard spot. Not only because he has had so much success there, but also because what the Pistons already have at the shooting guard spot. Luke Kennard is your shooting guard of the future currently. Some would say that Svi Mykhailiuk is the Pistons shooting guard of the future. Two young shooting guards that are really just shooting guards. Neither is a 3 because neither is long enough to play the 3, and neither is a point guard because they don't have the ball skills and all of those things. They are shooting guards. They are locked in shooting guards. And you are going to add a third young piece and pigeonhole him as a shooting guard when you have as your point guards Derrick Rose and Brandon Knight. I don't understand the logic. And it's not that I can't see the logic. There just is no logic in this decision. There is none whatsoever in taking Bruce Brown away from the point guard spot because it log jams you when you get healthy at the 2 spot. You also have to find minutes for Langston Galloway at the 2, and we know Dwane Casey will not take Galloway out of the lineup. And now, what? You're going to play Derrick Rose for 30 minutes a night and then go with Brandon Knight? What's the point of that? What is the point of Brandon Knight at 28, 29 on an expiring contract coming in and taking away minutes from Bruce Brown at his better spot? That is the most asinine thing that you could do. And I just don't understand why the Pistons have come to this decision. I just don't see any blueprint where this works out for them. Where they say, hey, when Luke comes back, which we want him back soon, and he's expected to be back soon. When Luke comes back and we have Svi, we're going to add Bruce Brown along with Langston Galloway as our shooting guards. And we're going to end up playing Brandon Knight and Derrick Rose, who has struggled with injuries again as of late. And we're going to roll with them at the point guard spot. Like I said, I continue to lose faith in Dwane Casey. I'm not saying that the team should fire him, but I am saying that some of these decisions that he is making really have me questioning the why he is the coach.
Well, he's proving that he may not be a great rebuild coach. You know when you've got a competitive roster, Dwane Casey can make your team better, can help your team win. He's a dang good coach. That's not the question. You even saw it a little bit with like John Beilein in Cleveland, how he talked about he could not stand the losing, and that really got to him. And there were other issues there, and I'm not going to lie, I feel bad for John Beilein and not even being able to finish out the full season. I think some of his players were pretty just wrong. I'll leave it at that.
That's a tough group to rebuild with. I mean, you have a bunch of veterans that have already won NBA championships, and they're kind of the holdovers from that championship roster. And then you have a bunch of young guys that don't really know what the NBA is like and apparently aren't committed to going through a rebuild and working through it. I mean, there are definitely some things, not to go off on a tangent here, but like the Christmas Day practice, you don't need to do that. I get players and that being a problem. Absolutely. But for a guy that has the resume that John Beilein has, for you to not be able to work with it and give it at least a full season, that's tough. I do feel bad for Beilein in that sense. Not saying he's out of the wrong, but it's tough. Continue.
Yeah, but maybe Dwane Casey's going to prove that he's not the guy that's fit for a rebuild. How will he handle next year? How will he handle next year? Because barring something unforeseen, Detroit's not going to win a lot of games.
They're going to try to. Hey, they are going to try to. No, I really, right now, they have money to play with. Don't tell me that they're not going to take some stabs in the offseason at Fred VanVleet, at someone else on the market, and they're going to try to roll out above-average free agent signing, Luke Kennard, Tony Snell, Blake Griffin, and Christian Wood.
God, that disgusts me. If that happens, I might quit. I'm just letting you know now. If that happens, I may walk away from this podcast. Because I can't sit here and talk about that garbage. Let's not even go down that road right now. Let's just not even go down that road. But at the end of the day, the whole conversation about Bruce Brown not being a point guard is very disturbing. Because he has, it seemed to be, found a home at that spot. Is he a starting point guard for a quality team, a championship quality team in the NBA? I don't know.
Probably not. But even if he is a backup.
Exactly.
Even if he is your backup point guard, which is exactly what you could be working with him to become, as you have a top pick in a draft that is full of point guards, a.k.a. Killian Hayes. I'm going to say his name every week until the draft. But you mold him to become your backup one that can obviously play the two. Sure, of course. Positional versatility is almost necessary to have at this day and age in the NBA.
Yep. That's
great. So why pigeonhole him as a 2 when he's already played better as a 1? And he's a guy that is part of your long-term future.
Mm-hmm.
It just, there's no... I love more explanation on Dwane Casey on that. I read his quote, didn't get anything from it other than I'm making a stupid decision.
Yeah, it's disturbing, to say the least. It's disturbing.